elevation can be performed with manual handles and cranks if fire control or hydraulic systems fail. The commander's M2HB .50 caliber machine gun on the M1 and M101 is aimed by a 3 magnification sight incorporated into the commander's weapon station, CWS, while the M102 uses the machine gun's own iron sights, or a remote aiming system such as common remotely operated weapon station, CROWS, system when used as part of the tank urban survival kit, TUSK. The loader's M240 machine gun is aimed either with the built-in iron sights or with a thermal scope mounted on the machine gun. In late 2017, the 400 USMC M101 Abrams were to be upgraded with better and longer range sights on the Abrams Integrated Display and Targeting System, ADATS, replacing the black and white camera view with the color sight and day forward/night thermal sight, simplified handling with a single set of controls, and a Sluto Q button that repositions the turret with one command. Preliminary testing showed the upgrades reduced target engagement time from 6 seconds to 3 by allowing the commander and gunner to work more closely and collaborate better on target acquisition. 115, 116, Mobility. Tactical. Marines from 1st Tank Battalion load a Honeywell AGT 1500 multi-fuel turbine back into a tank at Camp Coyote, Kuwait, February 2003. The M1 Abrams' powertrain consists of an AGT 1500 multi-fuel gas turbine, originally made by Lycoming, now Honeywell, capable of 1,500 shaft horsepower, 1,100 kilowatts, at 30,000 RPM and 395 pound-foot, 536 Nm, at 10,000 RPM and a 6-speed, 4-forward, Torevus, Allison X1100-3B hydrokinetic automatic transmission. This gives it a governed top speed of 45 miles per hour, 72 kilometers per hour, on paved roads, and 30 miles per hour, 48 kilometers per hour, cross-country. With the engine governor removed, speeds of around 60 miles per hour, 97 kilometers per hour, are possible on an improved surface. However, damage to the drivetrain, especially to the tracks, and an increased risk of injuries to the crew can occur at speeds above 45 miles per hour, 72 kilometers per hour. The tank was built around this engine, 117, and it is multi-fuel capable, including diesel, gasoline, marine diesel and jet fuel, 118, such as JP4 or JP8. By 1989, the Army was transitioning solely to JP8 for the M1 Abrams. 119, for logistical simplicity, JP8 is the U.S. military's universal fuel powering both aircraft and vehicle fleets. The Australian M101 AIMSA burns diesel fuel, since the use of JP8 is less common in the Australian Army. M1 driving controls. The gas turbine propulsion system has proven quite reliable in practice and combat, but its high fuel consumption is a serious logistic problem. 120. The engine burns more than 1.67 US gallons per mile, 392 liters forward/100 kilometer, or 60 US gallons, 230 L per hour, when traveling cross-country, and 10 US gallons, 38 L per hour when idle. The high-speed, high-temperature jet blast emitted from the rear FM-1 Abrams tanks makes it hazardous for infantry to take cover or follow behind the tank. In urban combat, the turbine is very quiet when compared to diesel engines of similar power output and produces sound significantly different from a contemporary diesel tank engine, reducing the audible distance of the sound, thus earning the Abrams the nickname Whispering Death during its first reforger exercise. A Marine M101 offloading from a landing craft air-cushioned vehicle. The Army received proposals, including 2 diesel options, tar provide the common engine for the XM 2001 Crusader and Abrams. In 2000, the Army selected the gas turbine engine LV-100-5 from Honeywell and subcontractor General Electric. 121. The new LV-100-5 engine was lighter and smaller, 43% fewer parts, with rapid acceleration, quieter running, and no visible exhaust. 122. It also featured a 33% reduction in fuel consumption, 50% less windmill, and near drop-in replacement. 123. The common engine program was shelved when the Crusader program was cancelled. Phase 2 of Army's PROS, Partnership for Reduced O&S Costs engine, program, however, called for further development of the LV-100-5 and replacement of the current AGT 1500 engine. 124. A Marine M101 fitted with snorkel attachment and bustle rack extension and two 20-pound, 100 kg, auxiliary power unit, APU, was designed by the Army's Tardik, replacing an existing battery pack that weighs about 500 pounds, 230 kilograms. It uses a high-power density 330 cc, 20-in-3, Wankel rotary engine modified to use diesel and military-grade jet fuel. The new APU will also be more fuel efficient than the tank's main engine. 125. Testing of the first APUs began in 2009. 82 ND airborne paratroopers ride on an M1 Abrams by tank descent. Although the M1 tank is not designed to carry riders easily, provisions exist for the Abrams to transport troops in tank descent with the turret stabilization device switched off. A battle-equipped infantry squad may ride on the rear of the tank, behind the turret. The soldiers can use ropes and equipment straps to provide handholds and snap links to secure themselves. If enemy contact is made, the tank conceals itself, allowing the infantry to dismount. 126. Strategic. Strategic mobility is the ability of the tanks of an armed force to arrive in a timely, cost-effective, and synchronized fashion. The Abrams can be carried by AC-5 Galaxy or AC-17 Globemaster III. The limited capacity, 2 combat-ready tanks in AC-5, 1. A U.S. Army M101 after being offloaded from a U.S. Air Force C-17 at Balad Air Base, Iraq in 2004. Combat-ready tank in AC-17. Caused serious logistical problems when deploying the tanks for the first Persian Gulf War. Without area was enough time for 1,848 tanks to be transported by ship. The Marines transported their Marine Air Ground Task Force Abrams tanks by combat ship. A Wasp-class landing helicopter LHD, typically carried a platoon of 4 to 5 tanks attached to the deployed Marine Expeditionary Unit, which were then amphibiously transported to shore by landing craft Aircushion, at 1 combat-ready tank per landing craft. The Abrams is also transportable by truck, namely the Oshkosh M1070 and M1000 Heavy Equipment Transporter System, HEADS, for the U.S. military. The HEADS can operate on highways, secondary roads, and cross-country. It accommodates the 4 tank crew members. 127. The Australian Army uses customized MAN trucks to transport its Abrams. 128. The first instance of the Abrams being airlifted directly into a battlefield occurred in October 1993. Following the Battle of Mogadishu, 18 M1 tanks were airlifted by C-5 aircraft to Somalia from Hunter Army Airfield, Georgia. 129, 130, variants and upgrades. XM1 FSED, pre-production test model. 11 full-scale engineering development test bed vehicles were produced in 1977-78. These vehicles were also called pilot vehicles and numbered PV1 through PV11. M1, first production variant. Production began at Chrysler in 1979 and continued to 1985 at General Dynamics, 3,273 built for the U.S. The first 110 tanks were low-rate initial production, LRIP, models, still called XM1S, because they were built before the tank being classified as the M1.M1IP. Improved performance produced briefly in 1984 before the M1A1. Contained upgrades and reconfigurations like new turret with thicker frontal armor. New turret is referred as long turret instead of older short turret. Armor upgraded from -650mm line of sight thickness to -880mm, 894 built for US. M1A1 SAD Smiley NB1. Production started in 1985 and continued to 1992. Pressurized NBC system, rear bustle rack for improved stowage of supplies and crew belongings, redesigned blow-off panels and M256 120mm smoothbore cannon, 4,976 built for the U.S. Army, 221 for USMC, 59 M1A1 AIM sold to Australia. M1A1HA, heavy armor added first generation depleted uranium armor components. Some tanks were later upgraded with second generation depleted uranium armor components, and are unofficially designated M1A1HA Plus. M1A1HC, heavy common added new second generation depleted uranium armor components. Digital engine control and other small upgrades common between Army and Marine Corps tanks. M1A1D, a digital upgrade for the M1A1HC, to keep up with M1A2 SEP manufactured in quantity for only 2 battalions. M1A1 AIM V.1, Abrams Integrated Management, a program whereby older units are era-conditioned to 0-hour conditions. Winking SAD Smiley 131, and the tank is improved by adding forward-looking infrared, flow, and far target locate sensors, a tank infantry phone. Communications gear, including FBCB2 and Blue Force tracking to aid in crew situational awareness, and a thermal sight for the .50 caliber machine gun. 114. M1A1 AIM V.2 /M1A1 SAT, situational awareness upgrades similar to AIM V.1 tanks and new third generation depleted uranium armor components. Configuration for the Royal Moroccan Army, which is almost identical to the Australian variant, except exportable turret armor is installed by General Dynamics Land System to replace the DO armor. 132. M1A1 FEP, firepower enhancement package, similar upgrade to AIM V.2 for USM tanks. M1A1 KVT, Krasnovian variant tank M1A1S that have been visually modified to resemble Soviet-made tanks for use at the National Training Center, fitted with MILES gear and a Hoffman device. M1A1M, an export variant ordered by the Iraqi Army. 133. M1A1, ADATS upgrade only variant to all USMC General Dynamics M1A1 Abrams tanks to improve the tank commander's situational awareness with an upgraded thermal sight, color day camera, and a stationary color display. 134. M1A2, baseline production began in 1992 and initial operating capability achieved in 1993. 135, 77 built for the US and more than 600 M1S upgraded to M1A2, 315 for Saudi Arabia, 1005 for Egypt, 218 for Kuwait. The M1A2 offers the tank commander an independent thermal sight and ability to, in rapid sequence, shoot at 2 targets without the need to acquire each one sequentially. Also second generation depleted uranium armor components. 136. M102 SEP system enhancement package is fitted with new second generation gunner's thermal sight. 137 has upgraded third generation depleted uranium armor components with graphite coating. 240 new built 300 M102S upgraded to M102 SEP 4th US, also unknown numbers of upgraded basic M1S and M1 IPs, also 400 oldest M101S upgraded to M102 SEP. M102S, Saudi package Saudi Arabian variant upgrade of the M102 based on M102 SEP, with some features, such as depleted uranium armor, believed to be missing and replaced by special armor. 442 M102S upgraded to M102S. 138, 139. M102 SEP V2, added common remotely operated weapons station as standard, color displays, improved interfaces, a new operating system, improved front and side armor with ERA, tusk kit, tank infantry phone as standard, and an upgraded transmission for better durability. M102 SEP V.
This we need a break because we have the Danish news in 3 minutes. We have a very bad earthquake in Turkey, more than 2,000 dead people, and today the Danish government give permission to will donate this old Leopard 1 tanks to Ukraine, and I like to see the news, so I will charge the camcorder while I do it.